next source of damage you take from anybody is going to be doubled up to some really high AP ratio she has. So we'll have to see if Bjergsen can set up those plays with his team. Checking out the bans in the second part of the ban phase, Camille and Rumble targeted by North America, while Brazil goes for Kennen and Taric.
All right, Taric being banned away could give us a tank support for Dude down in the bot lane. A lot of people like to pick Taric against the big tanks, like, and you know, if Alistar gets blind pick, Taric can be an answer against it. Also, the Kennen ban, I actually like that. It is a flex pick at the moment. You can play Kennen support again, and you can, of course, play the Kennen top lane.
Right.
Both actually work pretty well, but it is going to be the Gnar, something we have seen a lot of in this offseason. Ahri has been the preferred choice for him, just for more poke damage. I still think you can run other things, like press the attack, so we have to see in-game how Vert decides to spec his Gnar.
And you mentioned it, Vert, this is the guy who's the shining star in the top lane, in the CB LoL. It's not surprising to see him on a champion that can take over the game by winning lane and then being strong in the mid game, being a big element in those team fights, as North America picking themselves up the Tahm Kench. He's unbenched, Officio.
We wanted fighting and engage, and
this is the opposite of that.
We got Tahm Kench. God damn it. Okay.
Permit the Kermit.
Right.
Unclog the frog.
Yeah, we get the Tahm
Unload
Kench.
the toad.
Technically could still go top lane to make it a lot of fun, but still looking at that support one. Shen support is also a thing.
Shen support is also a thing. I was about to say that. I'm pretty sure Aframu is one of the players who said Shen support is pretty solid right now, so we could get the top lane Kench.
Yeah, let's make a prediction here. Top lane Tahm Kench, support Shen, jungle Jarvan. That's what we're going for.
We're locking that in.
We're locking that in right now.
That is a prediction. That is a prediction.
Cut it out of the VOD if we're wrong.
Yeah, just don't watch this part. All right, one more pick to go for Brazil. They've still got to get their own support. Looks like they're going to go ahead and go for some mad playmaking of their own.
But now I kind of want Tahm Kench support against the Thresh just to counter his hook.
I mean, you want it from an analytical perspective, but from a viewer perspective, you don't want it because then nothing ever happens. And
it's true.
The hook,
it's true, but now it's a conflict inside my head right now of like, do I want the best comp available or do I want the most fun on the Rift?
Well, it looks like North America's going with the best comp available because they seem to have put Hauntzer onto the Shen, Aframu onto the Tahm Kench, which means that, like you just brought up, it's going to be very hard for the Brazilian All-Star team to make plays onto North America with that Tahm Kench able to save.
Also, just, looking, as you said here, with Tahm Kench able to save, you know, it's not just against the Thresh. There's a Malzahar ult someone, Tahm Kench is there. You have a Sejuani engaged with her ult, well, Tahm Kench is there again. So it is such a good pick, and it's really showing us that both teams here, picking super strong meta comps, they're definitely here to actually show that they are ready to represent their regions by winning, and not just by playing a lot of fun
Not just by memeing, right.
Not just by memeing around.
But it should be fun to watch, and especially I like the Tahm Kench with the Varus and the Zoe. I mean, these are both immobile carries, right? You need to have ways to try to protect these guys extra. Zoe, I think, Zoe to me comes off as deceptive because people look at her ult and they see her as having some mobility because she jumps forward. But
yeah, it's kind of fake mobility.
Yeah, it's fake mobility. It brings you back to where you started, so you never actually get anywhere.
Fun fact, if you hourglass after your ult fall, will still jump back. And then your hourglass actually at your original position, and then right after, Tahm Kench can eat you.
And then Tahm Kench saves you, gobbles you up, gets you to safety. Let's see how it works out for these guys. Heading into match number 1, the crowd is excited. The players are ready to go. Let's see who can walk away from this one with a win under their belts and start All-Star 2017 off strong. North America out the gates on the blue. Brazil rushing out on the red side now. I want to see some level 1 action. I doubt we're going to get to see it, but I want to see it.
Listen, I think we've made it very clear during this pick and ban phase, we want to see action. We want to see big plays during All-Star. It's all these players here voted in by the fans of their own region to represent both Brazil and North America. We see actually potential level 1 invade.
All right, Mike Young with the Electrocute on the Jarvan, shown to be a very powerful rune on him, adds plenty of burst damage, especially early on.
Yeah, just going over the keystones we have. So we have up in the top lane on Gnar, we have the Ahri here just for more poke with the boomerangs, especially from him. Mid lane, we have the spellbook from Kami. So that is going to be a lot of fun, meaning, of course, he can change his summoner spells during the game and also reduces the cooldown on his summoner spells. Because what's very important on Malzahar is being able to flash.
Right. The flash ult engage, it's so big. It's exactly what Kobe was talking about, right? You take the right rune setup, you can get under a 3-minute flash, which is really capable of catching people off guard.
Also a stopwatch on Kami's side right there, so we'll be able to build that into an hourglass later for himself. Bot lane, Comet on both AD carries, as we mentioned in the pick and ban phase, just a lot of focus on poke, and that's also why you see boots on Jhin here, because it actually allows you to dodge out of the Comet when it gets fired towards you.
Oh, didn't dodge out of that one.
Not if you're slowed by E, I should add. If you're slowed by the E from Varus, you will not dodge it. If you're not slowed by it, you will dodge it. See, prove me wrong instantly. God damn it.
That is not the best possible start, but hey, everybody makes mistakes. BRTT taking a little damage early on, fires back with his own Comet, manages to land that one.
And again, I just want to add that a little further because we were testing that back in the European office. If you have 355 movement speed, you can walk out of Comet. You don't have that on Varus if you don't start boots, which is why he got hit by it. BRTT keeps getting slowed down, so he can't dodge it.
Yeah, BRTT pretty low on HP here. Takes a mean tunk from Tahm Kench too. Oh, wow, Bird, Hauntzer taking it to him in this top lane with the Shen. Gnar forced to flash out of the way. Platform from Hauntzer looking to make the play. The first blood for North America's top laner.
Welcome to the top lane where you pick a tank and you dominate the lane in the early game. That's what we see all the time.
Grasp for the Undying.
Aphromoo is stealing away the Grom.
Aphromoo just frog on frog violence. Stealing that one away, spitting it out for his own jungler. North America making the moves in both sides of the map.
Oh, what a start. They're Gnar in the top lane, dying so early. Bot lane as well, sneaky landing all the poke onto the Jhin. Let's get a replay of that top lane fight. It's honestly just Hauntzer straight all in with the autos, has level 2 early, taunts him, takes him down, and then walks away, baits it, flashes back in and secures the kill.
Second shot with the enchanted spirit sword to make sure he's got the damage.
But I like again how he walks away. He's like, you're safe, my friend. Don't worry.
Yeah, 100 HP. I won't go further. You're under your tower. Don't worry about it. Don't sweat it.
Then he goes down. Oh, Dude really wants to get these minions under the turret so they can deal damage to them and set up his AD carry to CS. Very smart technique if you don't want to hit enemy champions. Hit the minions instead.
All right, Revolta. Seeing if maybe he can make something happen, but I don't think so. As you can see, there's a zombie ward hanging out in that brush. Oh, keep an eye on him. Zombie ward's one of those new runes that has seen a lot of use.
I think
in the early preseason.
I think it's overpowered, actually.
Very strong.
I think it's so good, especially on junglers, but also on supports where you place a lot of vision. Getting that extra ward after that lasts for 3 minutes is so much extra vision for your team. MikeYeung is going to be spotted in the bottom lane.
Great ward by Dude. Honestly, he couldn't have placed that at a better time. That was put down right as Mike was walking down there. He had a feeling something could be going on. He reads it correctly. He doesn't got to keep those guys okay. That chilling smite, so can get a slow onto his opponent, potentially set up a trouble bubble into a paddle star. We'll have to see if he finds any opportunity to really use that. And that's the thing about Zoe. Her laning phase is so helter-skelter because you never know what kind of bonuses she's going to get. The drops from the minions are random.
And I also want to talk about what Bjergsen just did here. If you want to get some wave clear on Zoe, then you got to place your Q to the side of the minion wave. So when you're shooting it in from the side, you're hitting 2 to 3 minions each time. And then suddenly she can actually start pushing lanes. If you're just shooting it straight at the minion wave, when you're standing right in front of them, you only hit 1 or 2 max.
Plus you do very little damage because the
also that
increases in damage as it travels, and you just got to give it some time to breathe.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of like Zoe dancing around, shooting her Q behind her, and then firing it in front of her to get the extra damage with it. You can then use your ulti to again push yourself further forward so it will travel even longer, and it's actually suddenly really hard to dodge it because it's over these different walls and it's hard to kind of keep track of her, and it's not easy to dodge the skill shots from Zoe.
See, there you go. Bjergsen shoots the thing backwards, fires it forwards. The usual pattern you'll see is they'll hit the bubble, they'll shoot it backwards, and then they'll, like you said, they'll ult forwards to give it that extra little bit of range to redirect it for maximum damage.
Exactly.
Kind of like old Nidalee spears. It's all about the range.
Jumping backwards.
Yeah, jump backwards, throw another spear, and just keep throwing them out until somebody hits one. You're going fishing.
Let's see what happens right now, because bottom side, it is controlled by Brazil. Top lane, MikeYeung, though, is looking towards this poor little Gnar that already died once.
He's still doing fine in the farm, though. 38 to 36. He's ahead of Hauntzer in terms of CS, but you'd expect
This is All-Star, though. It's about kills, not farms.
That's, well, they also picked Tahm Kench, so...
That's true. Yeah, they
I don't know. I'm a little bit confused. As about kills. There's your comment.
You guys saw that? Dodged right out of it. Also, you also got the Swiftness boots to make it a little bit easier. That's another thing that's back in the meta. Rush Swiftness.
Very much so on Jhin.
Yeah, dodge away from the comets. Don't take that extra damage. Also dodge whatever other poke is actually being fired towards you.
MikeYeung doing some counter jungling, wants to steal away this chicken camp, make sure that he deprives Revolta of as many resources as possible. Mike now level 5. Bjergsen level 6, so he will have that ulti to give him some extra range, but remember that Zoe's ultimate, it's not like a lot of others. It's not like Malzahar, where the ultimate opens up this huge next level of options for you.
Yeah, it's actually just a small part of her kit. The fact that she can jump forward, get a bit of extra range, and then of course she will just end up having to jump back to her original place. So it is a very strange ult to use, and it's so much more about landing the long range Q, and then of course landing the CC from your E. Like, that is really what Zoe is about. And then, of course, if you can get a crazy summon spell, that's a bonus.
Yeah, that's always going to be nice. Vert eating a lot of damage from Hauntzer yet again as he dials in these taunts, but that's the problem with Gnar. Even if you get some good damage onto him as a melee champion, as you're walking away, he can still return the favor onto you. Hauntzer in a solid spot here. I mean, honestly, taking anything into Gnar, any melee matchup into Gnar, you're usually going to feel rough, but he's doing all right for himself.
It's also important to talk about how, before the runes were changed, Gnar against tanks could just go like things like Fervor of Battle, and have in the late game when he kept getting a ton of hits on them, you just get so much bonus damage, and they really struggle in split push against him. It's really not the same power with the more poke focus we see from Gnar these days. You could go press the attack if you want to go towards that route, but it's not the case in this game here. Let's see what happens around mid lane. Dude is on his way. Revolta is here as well.
Bjergsen knows something is up, gets himself immediately to the other side of the lane, and Brazil's plan will be foiled this time around.
But
Zombie Ward, though.
If you play a lot of solo queue, get Zombie Ward if you are a support or a jungler, because people do not check brushes. Those wards will last a full extra 3 minutes, and you get so much vision for your team, and your teammates won't die.
Is it less than a normal ward? It's the same thing.
It's just the fact you can kill them with one hit, and you can see the ward.
You can see them, and you can kill them really easy if they're there, but like you said, if you don't walk into the bush, you never see the ward, you can't kill it.
It's actually the way to make your teammates better, because they can see stuff on the map. If they look at the minimap, let's see top lane.
Let's see if they can make it happen. Oh, Hauntzer messing that one up a little bit. Bert getting himself away, but the Battle Star, that's a paddling. Bjergsen grabs the kill.
Bjergsen able to aim it with second one. Let's see.
Oh, now it's going to be trouble for Aphromoo. Tries to
Eat
get
yourself
away over the wall. I don't think it works that way, Deficio. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Still walking out, barely getting away. Aphromoo gets out alive.
Stays alive right there. Had to use his summoners. Meanwhile, Sneaky trying to get a bit of poke on Revolta here.
No sneaky poke.
No sneaky poke yet. Hopefully later, if he keeps firing, he will hit at least one.
Well, I mean, that would be the plan, I would hope.
I mean, he's also hit abusing the slow from Bar's E. I do like the fact, though, that the Brazilian team on the bottom side is really controlling what's happening. It's actually allowing Dude again to be around mid lane. Bjergsen's flash is available, though.
Let's see if Bjergsen can get himself out of this one. Dude wants to look for it. Flashes away immediately, and that'll be a Sunder Spell blown.
Because it is important to note, do not use your ulti to try and escape like that, because you will jump back.
It tells the Thresh exactly where to aim the hook.
Exactly. You won't actually get that far away before you are back in open arms of the Thresh. Flash playing it safe here from Bjergsen's side.
All right, 15.3 thousand gold to 13.6 thousand gold. So you've got a decent little lead for the North American team, but it's nothing that they're completely running away with the game yet at 10 minutes. It's solid, but...
I mean, typically when NA gets small leads, you guys do celebrate it quite a lot and really build up the hype, like something big is about to happen, and maybe it's this game, maybe it's this tournament.
Something big's about to happen.
I mean,
All-Stars.
It could be this tournament as well for North America. It's a good lineup.
I mean, we're also really good at doing well in tournaments that don't matter.
It's very true, but this tournament... Let's see. This part we kind of missed. It's due to the new runes, whatever.
Ooh, yep.
Bjergsen, on the other hand.
Bjergsen's got it. He's
Smack
ready.
him right in the face.
Hauntzer again going for these taunts. He's so aggressive into Vert in this matchup. He's not willing to let this Gnar sit there and poke at him with the auto attacks. Every time he gets the chance, man, he's taunting in.
He knows, again, if he gets onto him, he wins the fight here. Bot lane as well now. Aphromoo and Sneaker was actually pushed on the turret for a while and therefore lost the bottom side, but now they are starting to push back. We see all the control wards from NA as well, making sure they don't, get surprised by any fancy roams.
And these 80 carries and these item builds right now, Deficio, this is like a flashback to a previous episode for me. This is what the bottom lane meta looked like for so long. Back in Spring Split when you had Varus and Jhin lethality over and over as Vert and Hauntzer into the fight. Bjergsen looking to make his way up here too, maybe get that kill shot. Hauntzer thinking about going underneath the turret, decides against it.
Meanwhile, Mike Young and Revolta both bottom side. Might get a big fight here. Of course, TP and both top laners. Shen ulti also available. Revolta's waiting for a potential game.
Volta looks like he's calling this one off. Both junglers have about the same amount of economy on them.
He's so low, though. BRTT is so low. You gotta be careful here.
No, Mike already left. I don't think you're really in too much danger. Sneaky and Aphromoo not really looking to pressure this too much with Varus and Tahm Kench. Happy to farm it up and shove it out. Meanwhile, mid lane, Kami versus Bjergsen within 5 CS of each other. There, we got something in the inventories right now, Deficio. I want to direct your eyes to Kami's footwear. This is the best rune in the entire suite of rune ever since we reforged them. That man's rocking some free-ass boots, and that is exactly what you want. They don't cost any gold. They give you 10 bonus movement speed. That stays on the upgrade. It is such a cost-effective.
You're a great salesman. Well,
you want to buy 2 pair?
I like them as well. I do like them, but melee.
Oh, now he's able to find the ulti down into Bjergsen. He's got Revolta here as well. Silence into more CC. Hauntzer's able to make the save with the ultimate, returning some damage onto Kami. Bjergsen lives to see another day, and North America will also be able to take first turret bottom side.
Yeah, that's the first turret for them. Bjergsen stays alive because of the Shen ulti. Dude was on his way, but he just couldn't get there in time. I actually still like the play from Brazil here. Just trying to lock down Zoe. She can't really escape once you get onto her. Aphromoo.
Comes another play. It's Mike Young going to be delivered into the mid lane turret. Dunks him underneath the turret, but Kami's able to stay alive for now. Diud going fishing. Finds his way onto the Kench. Aphromoo going to be in some trouble. Silenced up, stunned up, and taken down. Burt grabbing the kill.
There is only one target he actually wanted to hit, and that was Tahm Kench. No way out. Aphromu's flash is still gone after he lost it around the mid lane earlier in this game here. That's the first kill now for Brazil.
Plus, if you hit anybody else, the Tahm Kench just eats them to safety,
Exactly.
gets them out. It's a
That's
problem.
why you want the Tahm Kench. Gotta take him
Uh-oh.
down. More fighting.
Here comes the rotation squad looking to make another play. BRTT opens up the firing range, but Diud's the one who's taking a whole lot of damage. Haunter, again, not able to find the flash taunt. Burt continuing to look for Sneaky, but now the attention has been turned over to Haunter as Mike Young makes his entrance. Revolta is low, out of mana. Sleepy Trouble Bubble not going to be finding anyone. Bjergsen's able to find the damage, and Burt goes down. Now the taunt has connected all the way onto Kami. He's out of there too, and North America's got themselves a double.
Oh, what just happened right there? They were trying to make a play top lane. Suddenly Haunter shows up. Bjergsen is actually flashing forward here. Not flashing forward.
I don't think that was his real flash. Was that a fake one?
Fake flash.
Fake
forward.
flash. So hard to tell. That's honestly one of the strangest things about watching Zoe. You'll see the guy flash, you'll think, oh, he fat-fingered it. There's no way he would want to flash there. It's like, no, he just had the extra one.
Always gotta look for different summoner spell usage from Zoe, or items as well. It's gonna be one of the fun things about casting her in big team fights out of nowhere.
Oh, it's gonna be such a mess. I'm gonna have. I guarantee you, I'll goof it up at least once.
All right, let's see it again here. So there's TP available from Haunter. Uses the top, Sneaky baiting everything. Nice ulti from him actually, buying so much time. And Kami's on his way back to base to get TP. He has heal right now in Malzahar. He's gonna switch that heal to teleport with his spellbook so he can TP into the fight. But by the time he's doing that, he's actually too late. Yeah. And the fight is over. Now he arrives.
Oh,
Wait!
what am I doing?
And now it's on cooldown. Man, that is a shame.
But Haunter is now in a little bit of trouble. He's been bullying Vert for quite a while in top lane this game, but Vert has now found himself in the spot that Gnar normally finds himself, pushing Haunter away, taking him low, maintaining control of that bottom lane as Sneaky pushes up in the top side. BRTT trying to defend it, but he's got to be very, very careful. You can see Aphromoo hanging around up here too. Diud also wants to be a part of this. BRTT and Diud, you know, the bottom lane for the Red Cannons, one of the better teams in CB LoL. These guys, we got to see them during MSI as well. So these guys have shown themselves to be an impactful duo. They've shown themselves to have synergy before, but this game they're struggling to get on the board too much.
Well, I just love they're always trying to be aggressive, you know, both back in CP LoL, but also here we've seen them try and set up some plays. Now, they've not been too successful just yet in this game here. Now, again, as you mentioned, struggling a little bit against this Varus and Tahm Kench, because you can't make plays on the Tahm Kench Varus lane. Like, he's just constantly denying it from Dude, which is why he's roaming. He's leaving. He's going mid instead to make plays. But that's QSS now as well on Bjergsen. Good thing, though, they're getting bot lane tower. Revolta was down there. The Gnar is starting to poke down the Shen. NA, though, will respond top lane.
Now, this gold lead, especially with this second turret going down up here for North America, is starting to get a little bit out of control. Bjergsen going to find himself jumped on yet again. Drops the flash, going to be stunned up. QSS to get away from that one. Sleepy Trouble Bubble prevents the chase, and he's out.
Kami was just not in range to actually flash ult him. At least wasn't fast enough if he was close enough. Mike Young starting that Rift Herald as well. Always gonna be interesting to see if teams are finding new ways to use an objective like this. I don't think so, because the runes didn't really change how you use the Rift Herald, but I'm always kind of waiting for meta changes during off seasons where someone's like, oh wait, maybe we should use it like this instead. Sadly, probably not going to be big changes with the Rift Herald.
No, there's not a ton of different ways you can use it, I guess. I mean, you can use it as a bait, or you can use it, usually you mostly just see him to take the mid turrets.
Yeah, I know, but what about...
Trying to theory craft some new Rift Herald magic.
It's really difficult when it's so simple that it charges a tower and kills a tower.
It headbutts a turret and kills itself if it attacks too much.
If you could just do more things.
Yeah.
There's a rune to change how you could use it.
Oh, a rune that changes the objectives.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. Rift Herald becomes something different.
I don't know what. Like,
yeah, I mean,
farms the jungle
there's
for
a reason that we're casters and not game designers. I don't know what to do with it. Send it into the jungle to clear all your camps or something along those lines. But right now, we can only send him into turrets. So we'll have to see where they decide to use that when Sneaky continues to farm. He's got the Ghost Blade, Serrated Dirk #2 in the inventory. It's that lethality stacking I was talking about earlier.
Gotta get that Dusk Blade. Gotta be able to deal maximum damage against some of these squishy targets on the Brazilian side. Obviously, BRTT wants to do exactly the same, but he's actually changing it up a little bit.
And it's very effective right now with the state of the game, because look at the itemization on the tanks. It's health in both top lane and jungle. These guys are just stacking health. There's no extra armor there, so that lethality is still going to pack quite a punch, even on the front line.
Exactly, and also we got to see top lane here. Aphromoo actually went with Biscuits for himself to be stronger in the laning phase specifically. I didn't really get to use a whole lot of Biscuits because he never really got poked down in the laning phase, but that is one big thing you can do on melee supports. If you think there's a lot of poke in the lane you're playing against, Biscuits super good from the inspiration tree.
There's some of that poke from the piercing arrow from Sneaky trying to get its way onto Kami. Rift Herald used by Mike Young. Nice big headbutt will take that turret down to 1/4 HP. Bjergsen has a cleanse, looking to make the move. Sneaky grabbing the kills. One piercing arrow shot through 2 hearts at once.
And we just talked about some of the squishy carries on the Brazilian side. Well, those 2 carries just died straight away. They were trying to defend this mid lane tower. Bjergsen with cleanse and QSS felt so comfortable he could jump in and add more damage to what Sneaky was already setting up.
And that showcased something important about Paddlestar that I think sometimes people forget. It's AoE. When Paddlestar explodes, the damage happens in a small radius around whatever it hits on. It's not a Nidalee Spear. So he was able to do enough damage to set Sneaky up for both of those. And now North America can transition. They can go grab the Mountain Drake. First Drake of the game at 19 minutes is a little bit slow, but they've been busy getting killed.
It's a European special. In the US, yes, we don't really do those Drakes early game.
Drakes aren't really the name of the game.
No. Let's see it again, So he's setting up huge hit, and then Sneaky just needs to land. Q picks up the kills, and there is a reason we talk about how Zoe is just insanely strong at the moment, and one of the big reasons is the amount of damage she deals when she hits one of these big skill shots. And again, it's not that easy to dodge around it because you don't always see where she's firing it from, and it does actually fire pretty fast towards you. So if you don't have any mobility to get out of it, there's a high chance you're going to get hit eventually.
All right, firing range opened up onto Sneaky, trying to buy himself some time. Stand United also going to be used, flashing out of the way. Aphromoo going to be brought in, so is Haunter. They turn it around, and Dude falls. Now can they find any more? Revolta trying to get out. Bjergsen going to be coming up from the side. Sneaky's troubled bubble falls a little bit short. Wants to make the Paddlestar hit, not quite able to find it. Rooted up by the Deadly Flourish. North America takes 1.
Also very good silence right there from Kami's side. Actually made sure that Bjergsen couldn't hold forward at the same time as he fired that Q. But top lane again, the globals from North America, the Tahm-Kench, the Shen, so hard to play against if you want to try and force that single kill in a side lane. It's never just one person sitting there. It's always 2 to 3 guys and then the rest of the team joining up.
By the way, when you said the Zoe Paddlestar scales so heavily, I wanted to actually check the tooltip and see how much it scales up to. And right now, if you hit the maximum distance on Bjergsen's Paddlestar with the items he has, 970 damage.
We are 20 minutes into the game. That is
970
insane.
damage in a small AoE. Like what we saw underneath that tier 1 turret. If he can hit that on one person, it's great. You hit it on more than one person, it's GG.
And then the fact also her CC is so strong, especially in professional play where you can coordinate that with the rest of your members. If you land a taunt first, it's pretty easy then for Bjergsen to land his skills right after and actually secure the kills. Still, I'm glad we get her in the first game. I actually thought she was going to be banned, but clearly, Brazilian team already with the Malzahar. Let's see what happens top.
All right, Mike Young starting it off. Drops the Cataclysm. Dude's going to be the target, but Mike's in there a little bit too early. The rest of the North American team not responding in time, so Mike just has to use his own flash getting out.
Vert did get the bot lane tower earlier in this game here, so 1 turret and 1 kill for the Brazilian team. But man, they are so far behind this game, and now they're getting sieged on in the top lane.
Oh,
That's 1.
Oh, there's your Drowsy Paddle Star from a long way away. Revolta going to be blocking what would have been a kill blow, but the Yude still goes down. Sneaky on a killing spree for that one as NA continues latency for the turret. The Demolish is going to be there.
Oh!
The double kill. The Paddle Star into piercing arrow combo is ripping Brazil apart.
It is so painful to play against. It's even painful to watch it right now. The fact that you can land these abilities over these walls, the extra range on them and everything, like it's just crazy how strong your siege is, especially in a poke meta. If you have your AD carry land in poke, applying CC, then you have your mid laner able to do what we just saw here from the Zoe. Lands a sleep onto the enemy support, and instantly, you know, he just dies.
And like what I brought up earlier, look at the atomization. It's all HP, and these guys are stacking Impen and stacking Armor Pen.
Again, it is important to highlight when you're shooting the little bubble here, the sleep over walls, the range is extended. So again, that's why you see him landing it from so far away. Second one even connects as another sleep into then more poke damage. And you die.
180 damage.
And let's see, BRTT's HP at the moment is 1377.
So
almost.
It will leave him with 97 health.
There we go. Didn't get one shot.
Not one shot technically, but look at the damage dealt to champions this game. You can see how high the damage value is, especially for Sneaky on this Varus. With those double lethality items, he's stacking the Mana Moon up now as well. The CDR this guy has, 30%. With the 2 lethality items combined with the Ionian Boots of Lucidity, means sits on the ground and it can still step on it.
I feel like we've highlighted 10 problems already when it comes to playing against Zoe.
There's so many things you have to be mindful of. So many things.
Still though, if you do want to try and shut her down, again,
sleep trouble.
Oh, sleep now.
That's your Paddle Star. Bjergsen on a killing spree.
If you do want to try and shut her down, you gotta bring CC, and you need to be able to actually flash onto her and CC her. That's obviously where the QSS is very smart from Bjergsen, to try and, you know, avoid dying instantly against it. But once you actually lock her down, she doesn't have great escape tools. She's very good when she's ahead. She snowballs so insanely well, probably the best out of any mid laner right now. But if she falls behind, or if you can actually jump her with Flash, Malzahar, ult, and QSS is on cooldown, she will not get away after that. Sadly, again, it's really hard to do, and there's also a Tahm Kench.
There's also a Tahm Kench, there's also an 8,000 gold deficit, there's also this Infernal Drake being taken, which is going to multiply her damage by another 8%. And
yeah.
8% is one of those numbers, it feels tiny, you know? But when you're doing 8% of 1,300 damage, it's pretty big.
Let's see, BRTT. Infinity Edge completed, fine Aphromoo.
Aphromoo, suppressed, bursted, gets the thick skin off, trying to stay alive, but not today.
And actually, again, the Infinity Edge right there from Jhin is actually a pretty smart adaptation. If you're already losing early game, don't just stack more poke, because you need to start forcing fights and try and win those fights despite being down a ton of gold to then get a Baron and get back in the game that way. So going Infinity Edge just make him stronger also when it comes to try and burst down a tank. Because stacking lethality against someone who's stacking armor doesn't feel great, won't do you any favors in teamfights. Infinity Edge, much better on Jhin for killing tanks.
Oh, Revolta loses half his health there. Bjergsen, with the solid aim on the bubble, realizes, hey, even if he backsteps to avoid the projectile, the trap falls in front of him, he has to step on it to get away. BRTT, like you said, trying to build for these team fights, trying to give his team an opportunity to find a way back into this game. But when we were looking at Champion Select and we were saying, hey, these guys are drafting try-hard team comps, they're kind of playing what Korea was playing, doing the Kespa Cup thing. Well, the problem with poke comps, it's like you said, when they fall behind, they feel really bad. When they are ahead, they feel super good.
Vert right now might actually be in trouble as a TP coming.
Okay, Bjergsen and Hans are together.
How did you get a
what
TP?
Fine, let's...
Because why not?
Because why not? That is the best answer. As Haunter still looks to maybe find this taunt here. Paddle Star comes up a little bit short.
Keep running, my friend.
Vert's doing a great job, but the second he stops doing that great job, yeah, that's going to happen. This is your tank, remember, Deficio. He's trying to get out. Going to go Mega Gnar here in a moment. It'll give him some HP, but it makes him slower, too.
There's so many walls here.
This is difficult. Bjergsen's still looking to maybe...
Wait.
Is this the greatest bamboozle of our time?
Oh, he jumped the
Oh,
wall.
he jumped right. Oh, man, if he would have stayed in that fog, if he would have had that sixth sense to know it.
No!
There's no way out.
Goodbye, sweet prince.
He tried so damn hard. That was so close.
Meanwhile, the rest of his team was just kind of basing and killing
Rest of his team is
camp.
question mark pinging the Tsar. Why are you back there?
What are you doing there back there? Get back. Poor Vert. Tried so hard in the bot lane, but again, when a random mid laner just TPs in without even having teleport.
Remember, he has heal. Heal is his spell.
Anyway, managed to get that one, so lucky for Bjergsen. And NA right now, baiting around the famous Baron. Normally not their best friend.
No, definitely not. Can confirm, but maybe All-Stars is a turning point. I mean, this year, we had Dignitas, a team that is previously known for having mistakes around Baron, pull some amazing plays around Baron. Maybe this is a good omen for all of North America together. That Baron will be our new savior.
Well, I mean, again, a lot of vocal members on this team. Everyone can make the call to step away from Baron in case something is about to go wrong. Aframu in there, Mike Young as well. And of course, Bjergsen, we know, will be super vocal in these fights. And gotta see, for now, 28 minutes into the game, they got two great Drakes. They're still very far ahead in gold. They have very overpowered Zoe.
And Brazil is just running out of options, I feel like. These guys are trying to find ways back into the game, but every time they look for some opportunity, North America's doing a good job of shutting it down. The only deaths on the NA team so far, Deficio, 1 death on Sneaky, 2 deaths on Aframu. Your solo lanes and your jungler still haven't died. This is a really solid performance from the North American squad overall in not getting too sloppy, not getting too careless.
I do like, though, the fact that the Brazilian team has actually tried to find like a few picks to at least delay the game. Like, yeah, again, they're far down, but it still feels like if they get a good flash engage, where Aframu maybe is not right there to save whoever they're jumping on, they can get that 1 kill. And we're late enough into the game that if you get 1 kill, you can start Baron. But once again, though, NA side, double QSS now on the carries. As you mentioned, the time catch, Shen ulti as well. Like, it's not just flash engaging as a Malzahar to get a kill. You need to do a whole lot more other than that.
And I mean, this is Aframu. This is a guy who has been one of the heart and soul members of CLG for a long time and was this guy who a lot of the time people and fans and critics alike were crediting with the team doing well when they otherwise would have had issues. And even though he's had his ups and downs, his ups on that team were moments where he was making these calls and making these plays. I want to see if he's able to be that guy who can always provide the save, who can always keep Bjergsen or Sneaky alive, because I don't see him being too far away from these guys anytime soon.
Oh, I also want to see if it's Dude or Revolta who could be the guy with the big engage from the Brazilian team. Vert down the bot lane.
Vert still struggling a little bit with Hauntzer here, now getting a chance to attack back. But Hauntzer is just not turning away. He has no surrender in him. Flash into the taunt, able to find the kill. Meanwhile, mid lane, it's Mike Young grabbing the dunk onto Kami. 2 dead on the Brazilian side as North America now has their choice of where they want to push and what they want to do. Taking the mid lane tier 2, moving back towards Baron.
Yeah, they got double global on that Shen. He can always join near the Baron here in case they need him. Rest of North America moving straight towards it. Bjergsen actually going back to base for now. Obviously can just rush straight to betting it.
All right, Hauntzer on the
Of
back
course,
end of
Bjergsen
the
got
pit.
another teleport.
Yep, Bjergsen, why not? Why not? Got to be able to get to that fight in time. Revolta gonna be taken low. Drowsy onto BRTTA's there. I can't even complete the sentence before he dies.
He's gone.
Nope, that's the problem. Also, Bjergsen's been in Echo now for even more instantaneous bursts.
Do the math on the damage over there.
All right, let's do the math on the damage. Let me see exactly what we're staring at. You've got a maximum damage of 1,400 base on the Q. And it has an E that will do an extra 400, so that's 1,800. Plus you have your Luden's proc, which is an extra 100, 200 or something. You're looking at about a 2,000 damage Q from max range, if they're sleepy.
Will basically one-shot the Jhin. Or get very close. Revolta.
Oh, Revolta in a little bit of trouble here. Going to be caught up. They try to counterattack with Kami. Revolta barely going to be getting away, but now it's Kami who's taken down by Aframu. Revolta going to be followed up as the piercing arrow strikes true. And North America takes down 3. The Sleepy Trouble bubble will zone them all away. Inhibitor number 1 under pressure now, and North America will likely just end the game. Bjergsen with another insta-kill onto BRTT. I think this is all she wrote.
Really good first game here from the North American team. A lot of nice plays coming from the Zoe, but also Hauntzer up top lane got the first solo kill. Bjergsen will actually die in the end.
He ruins a perfect game.
Does not matter though when it comes to KDA. Can't divide by 0 anyway, so having 1 death.
That's a technicality.
Does not change
he
your
could
KDA.
have walked away with 0.
Could have walked away with 0. Didn't do it, though. North America dominating in the first game.
That was an awesome display of coordination between the tanks and the CC and the Poke.
Right.
With Sneaky and Bjergsen, they set it up time after time. And you mentioned it, Deficio. That is so disheartening to play against because it just feels like, well, what do I do?
It looked so painful to deal with. Again, also just the combination of Zoe Varus with the very long-range poke and then Tahm Kench.
Yep.
Like, that combination in itself, especially if you fall behind early game, is just so hard to do anything against, but you can't just flash all in.
Nope.
You can't just engage. There's
something messes up on North American
completely
squad.
messes up.
Yeah, you hope that Bjergsen just R's right into you for no reason and Dude can hook his origin point or something, because other than that, what's the weakness of a poke comp? Hard engage, get in there, stop the poke, start the fight. Tahm Kench says, okay, cool. We'll see you later. I'm just going to gobble this guy up. Your ults are gone. Let's try again here in 10 seconds. Here comes more trouble bubbles.
Yeah, so obviously the answer could be ban Zoe, and you avoid some of that. There will still be poke comps with Tahm Kench, which could be very strong. Obviously, the Thresh was actually the last pick from the Brazilian team when they already knew after
They saw the Kench.
You know, potentially playing the Tahm Kench. So there were definitely issues when it comes to playing out this game once you fell behind early, but honestly, strong early game from North America. Good roams from Bjergsen. Hansa winning 1v1 top. No issues in the bot lane, and suddenly you just start snowballing the game.
We talked about that home field advantage. This could be North
That was
America's
it?
year.
That was it?
Yeah, that was it.
All right.
That was it.
Win
That's
one
exactly
game,
what
and
that does
suddenly
for it.
the hype train
yeah,
is on
win
the
one
way.
game. Choo-choo, we're going all the way. That's what I told you. You said we like to get excited about small early
Yes, you do.
advantages. Was that not a good game to get excited about small early advantages?
You're correct. If this is how the tournament will look for North America, then it's pretty damn good.
Meanwhile, for Brazil, it's all about saying, hey, first game was a little bit rough. That's all good. Everybody has a rough one now and again. We'll make sure that we can come back better next time. Like you said, there are a couple of issues in the draft. Like, you see the Kench, you pick the Thresh anyway.
They just had a different plan, right, going into this. So, like, give Zoe, pick Malzahar against it. It's going to be fine. If Bjergsen didn't lock in Zoe in the first phase, you could just ban it in the second phase, Right. So they felt like they had a pick against it, at least to deal with it. I think then just the rest of the combination of the NA draft made it very hard to actually get back in this game.
Yeah, it seemed like the way that North America played it out throughout the beginning to the end of the draft, it just came together in a very coherent package. But for more on that game one, let's send it over to Freak, who's standing by with the North American mid laner.
Thank you very much. I am here with the man in the mid lane. Bjergsen got himself Zoe in the first game of All-Star. Question for you, was it a mistake by the Brazilians in Champ Select to leave that champ up and let you get it second round?
I think I'm going to have to go with a yes. Zoe looks really strong. I obviously haven't played her enough to say whether she's OP or not, but this happens pretty frequently where I see a Zoe that gets just too many kills and does too much damage. And but yeah, she is a lot of fun as well. So strong champion and really fun. That's the best combo for me.
I know this event is sort of semi-serious. You guys are partial in the off-season, but also you got 4/6 of TSM here, kind of the coach. So, coming into this, were you feeling confident? Were you feeling prepared with your new teammates, ready to go and kick some butt?
Not sure if I was feeling prepared because I've heard some of the other teams have been screaming for maybe a week or two, whereas we played 4 games together, maybe. So
perfect.
But getting to work with Song and Mike Young for the first time has been really interesting because I hadn't even met Song until, I believe, yesterday. So it's just been a really good time so far, and I think it's always interesting to play with really good and smart players from other teams in Sneaky and Afro because you just learn about how other people communicate and play and think about the game.
And so far, so good for TSM. Of course, we'll see you play more during this event. The question I have for you, based on All-Stars, though, is will this finally be the international event where TSM makes it out of groups, or NA makes it out of groups?
Hey, what about Rift Rival?
Bjergsen makes it out of groups.
What about Rift Rival?
Okay, well, you're playing against good teams.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Just smack talk all the regions.
Korea's not in our group. Oh, wait. Not our Worlds either. Yeah, we'll make it out of groups. I'll give you that bold statement.
All right, no Korea in the group, still going to make it out of groups. Thank you very much. All right, so I believe you're going to be playing against China later in the day. Tell me about how that one's going to go for you.
Definitely harder than the Brazilian team. The Chinese team is looking really strong. Like, their lineup is good. And it seems like they pick their players to win. Like, the Chinese fans pick their players to win, not just because they might be the most popular. I feel like they really did pick some of the best players in their region. So it's not going to be easy, but don't ban Zoe, China.
Don't ban Zoe. Final question for you. You got the 1v1s coming up as well. Are you going to win this one?
I hope so. I've been doing some theory crafting and playing against all my teammates, and I think a big part of it is definitely preparation and understanding what champions, runes are strong, matchups, and what you ban going into the game. So I think whether my meta is good or not is going to matter a lot, especially in the first round when you don't get to see other people play.
All right, Bjergsen, thank you very much. Congrats on your win. We'll see more of you later today, but for now, let's go to commercial break. We'll be back with more All-Star 2017.
Flashed out of the way. Platform from Hunter looking to make the play. The first blood for North America's top laner.
Bounce. Where's he?
No flash. Here's stopwatch. He's flash now.
He's dead. Okay, nice. Good shit.
I'm looking for another E.
Just poke. Oh, nice. Good shit.
They continue latencies from the turret. The demolish is going to be there.
Oh!
The double kill. The paddle star into piercing arrow combo is ripping Brazil apart. Oh, Revolta in a little bit of trouble here. Going to be caught up. They try to counterattack Kami. Revolta barely going to be getting away, but now it's Kami who's taken down by Aphromoo. Revolta going to be followed up as the piercing arrow strikes true.
North America dominating in the first game.
Salut les loustiques et déjà merci pour les 10 millions de vues sur ma chaîne YouTube. Wouh! Pour faire le clip de cette chanson, j'ai besoin de vous. Eh oui, même toi là. Je voudrais faire un clip participatif avec des vidéos que vous allez réaliser. Alors, c'est très simple. 1. Vous choisissez une décennie musicale de 1920 à 2020. 2. Vous réalisez le clip que vous souhaitez dans l'esprit de la période, un peu comme ce que j'ai fait pour la musique. Vous avez carte blanche, alors soyez créatifs. 3. Vous publiez cette avant le 10 juillet, en précisant bien dans le titre Projet Evolution of Get Lucky - la décennie. 4. Vous mettez le lien de votre vidéo sur Facebook en pensant bien à taguer ma page, PV Nova, tout en majuscule. Et enfin 5, y a pas de 5. Après, je choisis les vidéos qui m'ont le plus plu, je fais un petit montage et hop, on a notre clip. Sympa, non? Allez, ciao!
Now, missed out on Worlds, but made it to the international stage, looking to prove himself here, Jankos, that is. Welcome back to the 2017 All-Star event. Before we jump into the next game, let's take a look at NA's performance in Game 1, specifically that very first Zoe pick of the tournament. We were thinking maybe it hit the ban list. It makes it through. It might hit the ban list from now on, though.
It wasn't just the fact that Zoe made it through, it was also the fact that both teams went super try-hard, and then Bjergsen just took it to the next level with Zoe.
Yeah, I mean, Jankos there was talking about wanting to prove himself. All these players, the #1 kind of goal actually is to make themselves look really good. But they are playing as a team with these strategies in mind. You can see how effective Poke is. It was set up earlier by Papa Smithy, and that was a very good display right there.
Our first look at Zoe there brought to you by Acer. Kind of refocus on Korea versus the European All-Stars here with Zoe and mine. Players, you know, with the caliber of Faker here on the stage. You know, what could a player like Faker do with a champion like that?
I mean, the man's on record saying this champion is strong, so certainly we'll be picking if it's available. But you just
that's Faker speak for broken.
He doesn't go that way, you're right. But look at this champion, this list of champions, and look at these players that Korea has voted in. The scary thing here is that this is the sort of squad that is both popular, top 2 in their role, but also makes a lot of sense. Ambition can farm here. We already know that Prey and Gorilla famously, they got no ganks. Cuve, he doesn't get any ganks from Ambition. Ambition has his hands in the cookie jar, farming at every moment in every game he plays. but everyone else is self-sufficient, and all Ambition has to do, put a control ward down for that man in the mid lane.
I mean, the thing is, you know, KT Rolster came together, whereas everyone's like, oh, Korean super team, this is terrifying.
This is the one.
This is the actual
This is the
Korean
super
super
team.
team. I think if you give this, I mean, you guys talked about on the dive, if you give this team 2 weeks and they face KT Rolster, there's a high probability that this team
get to play together, right? Such a story between these two from, you know, the inception of Faker's career to where they're at now at the last World Finals and now officially on a team together. It's going to be fun to watch these guys interact.
And it was the 2013 All-Stars that Ambition actually came, or the last time he was at an All-Star event, got recognized by his region. And he was the mid laner there, and that was kind of Faker's big breakout season. I mean, he wasn't Faker just then yet, but since then it's been Faker, 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 Faker.
But Ambition, most recently, a month ago, and there's a bit of feeling between these two. They've never been close friends. I even, just before he took off, Faker was like, I don't know how it's going to go with Ambition. I think it fits stylistically, but the personalities, the bigger personalities there, that's going to be fun to watch.
I mean, obviously, you're shaking in your boots anytime you're looking across the rift and you see a Korean team, but the super team of all super teams is going to make you wonder. For this EU squad, though, let's talk about the super team stacked up on the other side of the rift. First game of the tournament for them. Looking at these members, we talk about Jankos. He's looking for redemption, having not made it to Worlds. Soaz, though, a guy who actually impressed a lot of people at Worlds.
And Soaz, you know, a lot of people, in addition to Soaz, on this lineup stand out to me as very creative players. And this is the tournament where I'm looking most forward to creative players. Ignar was at Worlds with the Blitzcrank, you know, breaking the Ardent Sensor meta. Soaz has always done that. Over 6 years of professional League of Legends play. Then you look at Reckless down there on the bottom lane, his Kennen pick that he had all year. There's so much.
Nashor's Tooth Ori.
There's just possibilities all over the place for this European lineup.
Zoe, yeah, what are we going to see next? I mean, either way, for these, you know, this European squad, they are going to have their work cut out for them up against, you know, the perennial powerhouses of the LCK. But again, that's kind of where I return to your point, Kobe. It's all-stars. Anything can happen, right? For all of these teams, they have to balance the team performance, the regional performance, and their individual performances. For a lot of these guys, they're voted in individually. So it is about showing, hey, I am one of the best mid laners in the world. That doesn't always align with like necessarily the team's objective, you know, in that moment. Do I make the flashy play? Do I go for the win?
Also, I kind of noticed in the last game where the TSM members on North America all played together for the first like 15 minutes of the game. Mike Young was top with Hanser. Bjergsen was top with Hanser. They had their own little, you know, crew going on there.
So Cuvée ambition.
It could be that. I mean, like any of these teams, the players that either have strong friendships from solo queue or played on the same team together, we could start to see those things come out.
Lots of wild speculation here on the analyst desk. Let's see how things play out as we send it to Flowers and to Fischio to bring us into Champions League.
Thank you, Dash. We are about to jump into game number 2 here. Now, game number 1, we got to see North America put on their carry pants.
Yeah.
Do what North America does best. And I say that very, very
win the first game.
Truthfully.
Again, there's only 1 week doing All-Star. There is no week 2, so that is a great sign.
Yeah,
for
we
North
don't have
America
to worry
so
about
far.
that evil void in between
can't
the 2
happen
weeks
right
where bad
now.
things happen. Right. There's no worry about it. Week 1, it's our time to shine.
This game, though, not expecting Zoe to be open. I mean, we saw what Bjergsen did. Imagine what Faker will do on the same champion. That could be super scary.
It could be worrying.
This European lineup, though, there's a lot of possibilities for innovation. I'm looking at a lot of these players, like, you know, Power Weaver always comes up with this crazy stuff for himself. Soaz in the top lane, known for his crazy playstyle. And Ignar in the bottom lane, if you want to counter poke, hard engage, baby. That's what Ignar brings.
Plus, North America had a great first game. Power of Evil in a mid laner. They might be able to do it for the EU team.
Oh. All right, get it out of your system.
All right.
Get it.
Yeah, all right.
Poke meta, he's great in it. Lethality is amazing on him if you want to just destroy some kits in the back line. And this champion is also multiple flex. Like mid lane Jace works, top lane Jace. I have seen AD carry Jace work as well with lethality build.
Yeah. Jace is one of those champions. It's also a lot of fun for me to watch as a North American caster, because in North America, nobody does Jace right. Whenever you see the Jace picked, you're like, oh, this is going to go bad. He's going to win the lane, and then they won't be able to win the game. But in Korea, they're all masters of Jace. So I really like watching the players who truly understand this champion and master this champion play it, as it looks like Europe is going to show us that Xerath that we've been hearing so much about from Papa.
So more focus on the poke. More poke also with the MF right now. They have the possibility of doing MF80 carry with Xerath's support for the maximum poke bot lane.
Double comments.
They could also do MF support and put the Xerath mid, if that is the case. And once again, strong poke, very long range. I think Jarvan, once again, is one of the best picks in this meta because he gives you engage, which you will need if you do fall behind against these poke comps. You cannot just sit back like a Brazilian team and just wait to lose all your turrets.
Right, it won't work. There has to be some sort of last resort trigger pull you can go to say, look, the fight's got to start now. Korea is going to be using that same Jhin pick that we saw Brazil use to not a great effect in game number 1, but we still saw BRTT get some damage in some of the fights, even with only 2 items. He was
classic Soaz, right there.
Okay.
A tip for everyone at home, if you want to climb in solo queue as a top laner, just pick Maokai. And just go Aftershock, pick Maokai, and you can win lane. You are insanely strong even in the mid game. You're almost unkillable at some point in the game. Like, Maokai is actually amazing at the moment, and he's so easy to play. How do you mess him up?
It's very hard. You have a point-and-click stun.
I guess you can ult the wrong way, like that would be bad, but like apart from that, you literally cannot mess up Maokai.
And the roots even spawn a little bit behind you, so even if you ult the wrong way, if you're right on
still
top of
kind of
the
hit someone.
It'll still like hit him sort of crookedish. It's hard to mess up Maokai.
If you want some free LP, Maokai is the answer. He might not be the most fun up in the top lane, but
kind of a dog champ.
Winning is fun.
Kind of a dog champ.
Kinda, and it's Soaz playing it, of course.
Yeah, you know how that's gonna work. So Taliyah and Ryze banned out by Europe, trying to target that mid lane pool a little bit for Faker. Sejuani banned by Korea, wanting to see what they can limit in the jungle here.
You know what I want from Genghis? I want aggressive picks. Give me Lee Sin or Kha'Zix. Electrocute in there, try and actually go around and make some big
carry
plays happen. Yeah,
yeah.
Elise right now can burst people down as well so fast. And Jankos is the kind of player to do it, so it's actually a good thing for him that Sejuani gets banned.
Oh,
lock that in!
Lock that purple bug in there!
Click on the button regularly.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I want to see too, because Jankos, you're looking at the one guy on this European All-Star team that didn't go to, that wasn't on one of the 3 teams that went to Worlds.
Yeah,
right? You got 2 players from Fnatic, 2 from Misfits, and Jankos from H2K.
I talked to him before the game. He promised me he's been spending every moment since the season ended for him practicing just for All-Star. Predicted he was going to get voted in. Now he's here. He didn't actually say all these things. I kind of made it up.
But you just ruined the entire
I know, but I suddenly feel bad for him because now I made him sound cocky that he already knew he was going to All-Star, and that wasn't the intention. Anyway, no excuse from Jankos, no burnout. He's been having 3 months to get ready for this one game against Korea because that's all that matters. You gotta beat Korea.
This is this is the Korea that if you beat it, you can say, I beat that Korean team.
The Korean super team.
This is probably one of the greatest amalgamations of Korean talent you will ever see in League of Legends on the same team on Summoner's Rift.
Yes, sir. Sadly, we get a Tahm Kench.
Yeah, it's going to be Tahm Kench in every game. We wanted to see games that were high octane, high energy, and in your face.
Oh, we get
the Kench off the bench every game. But okay, we get Blitzcrank, so maybe we can see something. If you pulled him away from the Tahm Kench, they can't save him.
That's true.
Yep.
But what I actually wanted to see was Xerath support, MF80 carry, just pick another mid laner, and then you had like a sick poke lane against Tahm Kench, and you can try and do that against him. Now, I love Blitzcrank from Ignore, absolutely love it. Aftershock is super, super strong as well, so it can work. But again, there's Tahm Kench on the other side, and it's gonna make it so difficult.
Well, let's see what he can do on this, because I remember watching him play Blitzcrank at Worlds and just being blown away by some of the things this guy was able to do with this champion. I hope to get to see a little bit more of that here today, and I hope for some level 1 cheese is what I hope for.
Oh yeah, we can definitely get that, and we need roaming from him as well. There's a lot of movement speed runes you can take if you want. I also want to see what he picks for the laning phase, because Dematerializer for the lane
Dematerializer
can actually do work.
It's such a meme.
It can give you early level 2. We'll talk about in-game if it's there. And then you can try and use that to actually get ahead in the lane. But again, Tahm Kench Devour.
I want to see Summoner Spellbook, and he starts with Smite and steals the enemy buff at level 1.
Okay, that is kind of cool as well. I want to see a lot of things from this Blitzcrank, actually. I want to see a lot of roaming. I want to see fun runes.
All right, let's hope that we get something really cool from him then. As we load into game number 2, the Korean All-Star team, the super team, the one that everybody was like, how are these guys even allowed to be on the same team together, versus the European All-Star squad. Oh, look at that. Fans going at it back and forth with the signs in the audience. NA greater than EU. EU greater than NA. Well, let's see. Okay,
I just want to get in this game. I want to look at Blitzcrank items.
Here's how we know. Okay, looking at the Blitzcrank items. He took Aftershock. That's no fun. That's not Summoner Spellbook. But he actually took the Dematerialize. All right, you win.
So there, it's really weird to use it because again, it's on cooldown at the start of the game, so you can't just instantly use it. And the cooldown after actually using the item as well is fairly long. So it's something where you need to time it correctly to get the full value out of it. One thing you can do is actually don't use it on the first wave, but when the second wave arrives in the bot lane, you need to kill the 3 melees to get level 2. That's where you used it the first time on the first melee, or just one of those 3 melees, get level 2 faster, and then try and go for an all-in. But again, Gorilla can just take Devour level 1, and then he sits back and he can just eat prey to actually stop this from happening. But Ignor is aiming to get a level advantage in the bot lane by just getting level 2 and 3 and 4 a little bit faster than the Korean bot lane, and then try and make a play.
All right, EU goes in. They drop the ward on the red buff, and then they immediately get out. They figure that Korea is probably wise to what they're going to do with the Blitzcrank. This is the oldest solo queue trick in the book, so as with the ward over the wall in case Korea tries to steal the red buff back. I mean, there was effort at level 1 this time at least. We got to see the team try to do something sneaky, but we didn't actually see any payoff for it. So we'll just see the junglers starting off the bottom side here, but Korea will actually steal away the EU red buff.
All right, Ambition, good start from him. So once again, as we said before here, item, the Dematerializer, is still on cooldown from Ignor, so he can't use it instantly. He has to wait. Power Evil right now is getting ganked.
Level 2 gank from Ambition's Jarvan with that electrocute at the very end to make sure he gets some extra. I've seen anyone use this rune. It is a very...
He's used it once.
Seldom used rune. Simply because it's so limited in most of its applications. Blitzcrank's one of the few champions that feels like they could really get something out of it, you know? So in solo queue games when they're tilted where they take Smite on Blitzcrank and Smite creep and immediately pull
But
through
it takes time before it kills the minion.
You use it on it, and the opponent sees the thing. It's like, oh, I should step out of the way. Soaz should have stepped out of the way of some of that damage. And Uwe's almost able to find him. But Soaz stays alive.
Oh, okay, starts to recall behind the tower as well because Cuvee is out of mana. Cuvee might try and interrupt it. I want to say, you know, I don't even care.
Yeah, I feel like he can interrupt it. I don't even think he had enough mana for the shock blast.
Oh, I think just towards the end, maybe he could have tried. But again, we're talking tiny amount of mana right there. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Ignor. Funny enough, still level 3 in his Blitzcrank. Not getting hit by any means. Used 2 stacks so far.
Third one's ready to go. It's off cooldown. I don't know exactly what this thing is.
Dude, in my head, it sounded so cool.
It's a 10-second cooldown in between uses.
I know. But it's more the fact it's on cooldown. You can start for so long.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying on that one. It feels pretty bad. Maybe that's the buff it needs. Use it at level 2 for cheese.
I actually think that could make it really good. Well, really good is a strong word here.
I was going to say, that might be a little audacious of a statement. That could make it somewhat viable.
It could make it less bad.
Okay, all right. I think that's fair language.
Oh, Ambition right here. Realizing he has no control in the bottom lane. It's all EU territory right now with those wards. Ignor forcing him away as well. Jankos, no flash. You got to remember that.
Is fearless here. Just really not worried. Walks into the brush, gets himself out in time.
I feel like if he's fearless, he stays in and takes the fight.
Well,
jumped out?
No, I mean, he jumped out after he knew there was danger.
Oh, you mean
when he
check?
Yeah, face check the bush. Doesn't care if there's danger or not. If there is, he can leave. I said fearless. He's not dumb.
Fair enough. Top lane, I like to study from Cuvee. He's like, yeah, Maokai healing, kind of annoying to deal with. Executioner's calling insta me. I'm going to be so annoying up in this lane here. This is a Korean Jace who wants to split push and take down that tower as fast as possible and then start moving around the map and just sniping, squishing players.
Soaz trying to go in there, find some damage onto him, but so hard to win a trade against Jace as anything.
Well, also Soaz is not speccing for the lane here with his runes. Spellbook on the Maokai. This is what we said before Champ Select. This European team, there's innovation. There are people trying a lot of different funny things. So he will sit right now with TP. Gotta see what he changes to later.
That's what I was about to ask, is I'm struggling to figure out which summoner spell you would want instead of TP Flash on Maokai. Is he just taking it for cooldown?
I think so, because reduce cooldown on TP, go bot lane more often, feed Reckless more often. It's a classic Fnatic strategy. It's been done all year. Soaz is the top laner of Fnatic, who's used to going bot lane to feed Reckless. less cooldown, go bot lane more often, get more kills. I see it.
We may not even see him change the summoner spells at all. He may just read from the same page of the spell book all game long. He can just read it faster.
And if it's a great page, you can keep rereading it.
Jankos farming up his own Raptors, walking away now. Ambition already level 6. Jankos not level 6 in the Cosmos yet. No evolution.
Let's also see here with the top lane, we have a Malzahar coming, we have a Jarvan coming.
Soaz putting up a good fight here against Kube. Oh man, the Korean team's looking for blood on this one. Ambition goes through.
Oh!
Soaz! That's not a dog champ, baby! First blood over to EU!
Telling you guys, Maokai top lane, man. Free LP right there. Just go for it. Swords with the big plays. Kube getting surprised by the flash engage. That's first blood for Europe. Still do lose the Maokai in the end. Ignar already roaming. Still 2 stacks left. He wants minions.
Let's see what if they can do anything here. They went 1 for 1. Top laners are dead. Ambition and Faker going after this blue Sentinel. And I'll just go over to Faker. No fight.
Still though, right now, this is going to be the kind of game that's going to be fast-paced, I feel like. There's going to be a lot of roaming. There's going to be a lot of TPs from the Maokai with the spell book. Ignar is mid again.
Ignar wanting to go for that grab. Can't quite find it, but there's your stun. Jankos wanting to jump back in now. Stopwatch to keep Faker safe. Ignar tries to go back into the uppercut. Xerath Artillery misses.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, Prey and Gorilla are taking down that tower. They're used to this, by the way. The enemy team going mid and top lane and making stuff happen. They just hit bot lane, they just play right now. And then they don't need their own team to help them. They're always the ones playing just a 2v2 lane on their own. And right now, they're taking down his turret.
One thing I want to comment on, you probably already noticed it in the mid lane, but Jankos' first evolution on the ultimate for the Kazakhs. Very popular train and play this game, or this patch, I should say, this meta. Gives you that stealth every time you step into a bush, as long as you're out of combat. Makes it faster to comp as well, where you have Moby Boots Blitzcrank on your team as well. You want to be so mobile here. You want to just constantly move around, look for picks left and right if you are the European team. Korea is much more of a team fighting composition. Keep your Tahm Kench with the carries. Top lane right now, Jankos on the way. Jankos trying to get in there as quickly as possible. Already used his lead. So as
free win Maokai!
1v1 in Kube at this point, and the missile from the Kazakhs for the kill.
Goddamn Maokai, man. So tanky already with the Bramble Vest in there. Bot lane tower will go down. Rekt is forced to flash away. Can he stay alive?
All right, Gorilla and Prey trying to find these shots. One hit, second and third miss. Rekkles still trying to get himself out of this one. Ambition looking for the dunk, able to find it onto Ignar, but he gets himself out. And the pull will not do anything. Gorilla is there with the save as soon as that pull would connect.
So first turret for Korea in the bottom lane. Classic Western team versus Korea we're seeing here. Big aggressive plays from the Western team. The Korean team, slow and steady.
Slow and calculated.
Yeah, take down the objectives, get the 2,000 gold lead. Jankos telling Soaz he doesn't like him, knocks him back towards Kube.
But now Korea has started up the Infernal Drake themselves. That is a great first Drake to get. We didn't see first Drake till 19 minutes in game number 1, and now in game number 2, Korea says, well, Infernal Drake might be worth getting a little bit earlier than that. Yep. They pick her up at about 10 and a half.
And another game right now where we see the inspiration tree being used as well quite a lot. We have the boots coming in. Of course, Jankos top lane again.
Jankos going for another play onto Kube here, seeing if maybe he's got the damage for this one. Kube running in the river, indicating he's got help nearby. EU calls it off.
But again, a lot of magical boots right now, a lot of biscuits as well here around the map. Very good for the early lane phase. And a lot of teams are speccing for early game to try and get that advantage, especially with poke comps. This is where we see top lane. Kube effectively deals almost no damage to Soaz right now and actually takes some damage in return. And the Maokai base damage is actually pretty high.
And you can see that right here because it does enough damage to let Jankos get the kill by just Qing and Wing the Jace. Kube, for somebody who drafted a champion that's designed to win lane and bully his opponent, and he's got the Executioners calling for the split push situation like you were talking about, Soaz is just not having any of it. He's willing to fight this guy all the way to the death. I love that.
He doesn't care right now. Rekt is on the way with a lane swap here.
All right, Soaz trying to make the move, gets the knockback. There comes your MF ulti. Down! They get the kill yet again. 3 deaths for Kube.
That tower is very low up here in the top lane, but meanwhile bot lane we have Prey and Gorilla pushing. They're moving towards mid lane. Power Weevil needs to be careful now. He's already recalling. He might actually get caught out.
Oh, stun onto Ambition. Throws some damage down onto himself. Jankos looking to provide the damage, but now the bug gets squished. Faker grabbing his first kill, his second kill, excuse me, in the game.
So also TP to mid as well while Rekt is taking that tower. Europe here trying to defend the mid lane turret. Korea sieging with 4 members.
This is going to be a hard push to stop.
Kill the minions.
Xerath ulti onto the minion line to just try to buy some time. You will also find its way into there. That Arcana Pulse. Nice pull from Ignar, but it's on the Gorilla. Stun comes through. Right with some counterattack damage. A couple blows traded back and forth, but it doesn't really do anything.
There's still 1 stack left on the dematerializer.
What is
that was so useless.
Yeah, it hasn't done anything.
It was so useless.
Like, might as well just gone, okay, I don't want my root. I'll just do something else with it.
I love that he's trying.
Right.
And
he's
that's
giving it a
the thing
shot.
about All-Star here. You don't have to pick troll things. Like, Blitzcrank is a good pick for him. It's a serious pick. And you are allowed to try some of the new runes and see if you can make it work. Sadly for him, this game, not the case. Soaz just won the Maokai.
That was one of the most disrespectful walk-bys I ever saw. The Jace is standing right there. He's like, hey, I need you to get out of my way. I gotta catch up with this wave. I love it. Soaz just playing the way we want to see Soaz play. And like you said, All-Stars, this is a great event to have new runes be played on.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it lets players experiment.
Oh, let's see what happens here.
Okay, so what I was talking about with Soaz and his disrespect, I feel like it's actually going to come back and bite him a little bit here.
He's done this before, though.
Fires off the ulti, trying to stay alive. Jankos comes around, and he says, all right, I'll see you later. Adios. All right, so Kube gets his first kill. That's good for him.
Important. He's died 3 times already. Been definitely the target right now up in that top lane. Meanwhile, bot lane has been perfectly fine for Prey and Gorilla. Now Faker as well mid, 145 CS, 2 kills. Not a bad player either, so I guess it's okay that your mid laner is getting all these kills if you are the Korean lineup.
Not the worst guy to have all the money on. And talking about the money, I mean, the game's 3-3 in kills, 1-1 in turrets. There's an extra Drake on the side of Korea, but that's only worth 25 gold. But they're still up almost 2K just because the advantages they've built in terms of farm. Look at literally every single role except for AD carry.
And again, we talked about a European lineup is like going to be super crazy about roaming around and trying to like force plays with the Kha'Zix evolving R with as well the Blitzcrank, and it's not been that successful for them yet. They need to keep finding these targets who are alone, like Cube down the bottom lane.
Let's see if they can get him again here. Ignar coming out of the brush, looking to get that knock up. First Xerath ulti's not going to connect, but they got the rest of the damage easy peasy. Ambition able to get the dunk down onto Jankos. There's your return kill. It's a 1-for-1.
Good reaction right once again here by Tahm Kench.